Flight Boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry Simone. Flight Boss, the Archangel URIEL. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I want to talk about portals. Portals. Now, portals are like tunnels. Now, you can get tunnel vision going through a portal. But listen, you always see shit through your third eye. You always see shit in the spirit realm first. So when we talk about portals, they can be created as ships, UFOs, lights, sounds, but portals is usually like tunnels. And we know tunnels are created. When you look at Super Mario Brothers, the tunnel, he was a plumber. So the tunnel was created to go in to travel beyond measures. So when you go through a tunnel, you'll be able to travel somewhere without, almost like the freeway. The freeway is a form of a tunnel. Now, it might be not in a cylinder like a tunnel, but a freeway was created from the frequency energy of a tunnel. Because a freeway is how you can get somewhere through other means without having to go through all the other things. You could go through the tunnel and skip past all the other shit. So that's like a freeway. A freeway is how you get somewhere without having to go through the south side, east side, north side, and all the house streets and all that shit to get to your destination. So when we looking at, this is how portals play. Now you can look at portals as a pour or port, import, export, a portion of something, you know. Look at portal as all these things. So just being immortal means your spirit is in a portal, which means your spirit is in a form of a tunnel. And we know a form. A tunnel is a form, a shape. So this is what your spirit is in. So now that we got that out the way, in the astral realm, you're going through portals every day. Now, like I said, portals is sound, light. And that light act as a direction, as a frequency. But in order to move in that direction, you have to vibrate. And I told y'all how to move in the yin realm, in the astral realm. It looked just like here once you get used to it. But if you want to move for it, you feel like you're moving forward. You feel like you're accomplishing or getting over something. You want to move back, you feel like you left something behind, feel resentment. You want to move down, you feel depressed, or you feel like you have to down or duck or hide from something. You want to move up, you feel optimistic. You move right, you feel righteous. You move left, you feel like you move left field or opposing something. All these need to be used. None of these are bad or good. These all have to be used in the astral realm in order for you to move, so you can move right. So when you're in a room full of vultures, you know how to move right. If you in a pack full of killers, you know how to move right. If you in a pack full of business savvy people, you know how to move right. So you don't necessarily have to speak their language or necessarily be a part of their frequency, but when you're around these people, you know how to move right. AKA, you are an individual. You are an individual spirit. So you're not a spirit just going along with the wave and pack. You became a soul, an individual spirit. You are a motherfucking soul. And you can align yourself with any fucking body, any fucking group, and still be yourself. And even though you may not know as many frequencies within that pack, it'll always be somebody in that frequency that take a liking to you. And if they want you to stay on that wave, they will individually want you a part of them. And they will teach you, or you will want to learn a part of that pack. But you're still an individual. So you always going to be received well and perceived as yourself no matter who you're around. This will make killers look at you like you ain't a killer, but I fuck with you. Other than a person who's perpetrating. You see what I'm saying? So, when we talk about portals, portals is things that your spirit can ride. Sounds and lights or tunnels that it can ride. So you can look at it like a rainbow, depending on what kind of portal it is. It's a rainbow. Now, I like to look at it like that, but we can look at it like tunnels and things, or something that your spirit can ride. So what do this mean? What do this mean? You speak a language. Now, this language wasn't created by you. So this language, the energy of it, which is the sound and the light of it, is compacted by a bunch of spirits aka the frequency vibrations of what's controlling that energy. You see what I'm saying? And these group of spirits can't wait to take a denser body so they can experience, either be birthed here again and take over shit here again. But that's another story. Now, when we talk about language. Now, when you say something like, I'm ready. Now, it could be anything. Now, I'm just saying I'm ready now. When you say things like, I'm ready, that's the frequency. Now, that's a point of direction. That's a light. Now, that you created that your spirit can ride. Now, in order for your spirit to experience that idea that's what's created, that body, that light body that was created, right? To experience that imagination, you got to move in there. Move in the astral realm, with your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. I just gave y'all examples of how to move in the yin realm. If you want to move forward, you want to move up in the yin realm. Now, that's how you vibrate and move in that direction. Now, check this out. Since you said something that you didn't create, you have to know what you're saying. So you said, I'm ready. So ready means that you're prepared. You're prepared. Now, that frequency, whatever direction you're pointing to move in, that's the tunnel. That's the portal. That's the rainbow you're going to go in. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that, right? You start to move into the vibration of what you felt like you was ready for. So whatever experience, circumstance, or situation you claimed you was ready for, that's the direction that I'm ready frequency is going to vibrate, actually move in. So that's the direction your spirit is moving in. So it goes into that portal, into that tunnel. Now here's the thing. You got to take what's good or bad from that. You see what I'm saying? Relative to you. Because what's going to be good or bad for you is what's going to hinder you or assail you into that experience that you want to imagine, that you want to experience, that imagination that you want to experience. Now check this out. Here's the thing that usually happens with most people. Soon as they go down the portal, they experience the bad shit first. And then be like, oh, no, I ain't ready for this direction. They do that subconsciously. They show that they're not ready subconsciously. So they can say, okay, I'm ready. Once they spirits start to go down that realm and start to manifest new bodies, circumstances, and situations to experience that, soon as a person experiences the bad thing, they start to show things they're not ready. AKA, get out of hot water. AKA, don't go all the way through with what they actually was trying to create to go through with and all that shit. So a person will end up changing course, leaving that portal and going to another portal, or offspring portals, offspring portals, aka ideas and concepts that's not in the direct direction, but it's pointing in that direction, but they play off as shortcuts. And we all know shortcuts is trying to, like, a fast way or an excuse or a way around something. And when you do that, that's stepping in ways of you not being able to handle you going straight. When your spirit, look, your soul is just experiencing. Your spirit like, yo, go straight. Your body down here looking at all the shapes and forms that may be ahead of you. So if it's a street, you got a bunch of obstacles, cars you got to run across and shit. You like, man, I can't go straight down here. But see, you not listening. But down here in the physical form, you may want to force your soul to experience and move in a direction that's geared towards the physical. Let's go around, take a shortcut, because we can't walk straight, too many cars. But the spirit can see, like, nah, motherfucker, the end of the rainbow right there. You try to go over here and all over here, it's going to be way longer. What is a shortcut? What you think you taking an inch is going to become a mile. This is why in your life, everybody that come across you, that you give them an inch, they try to take a mile. And then they end up hurting themselves because they end up cutting or burning bridges from the person that they was trying to take a mile from. So this is the spirit realm I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So as the soul just like, man, I'm just trying to experience and make myself bigger to take different vessels. But what kind of vessel going to correlate to how they battle in between your flesh energy body and your spirit, your frequency body. But your vibration body in between, like, man, shit, I'm just vibrating and moving in these astral realms. Now your spirit is going to be like, move straight. Now this is what's happening right here. That's the conflation that's happening. So it's playing out in the spirit realm as you changing portals. You going in offspring portals. And you not just going straight. But you need to realize you need to go straight. Because a lot of times the friction, the opposition is the shapes and bodies that you need in order to take to sustain and to go in as a spirit, to embody, to sustain the travel, to receive the outcome that you want. Because once you show the universe that you're not, that as soon as you start experiencing the shit that make you change gears, you'll be like, oh shit. And then you'll try to change portals and shit. But a lot of times, the body that you create that come from obstacles and resistance and shit is the actual body that you need to have to even experience the prosperity out of it. AKA, you need forms of rejection. You need forms of not making it. You need forms of other people opposing you. You need forms of failure. Because those bodies that you create from those experiences is the body that you need to even experience the prosperity. Without that body, your spirit wouldn't even be able to experience a prosperity imagination. So for an example, when you go through a tunnel, say I'm ready, then whatever you go through as an energy, right? When you go through that, if you just say, all right, this is what I'm going through, and you take the good with the bad and say, fuck it, this is what I chose, and I know these are the first oppositions, and I know this is the bodies I need to take. Once you can look at it in that outlook, man, the body you create is cold. Some people do this subconsciously, but if you know this is what you're doing, because you're watching Archangel Uriel, man, it become cold. The experiences of opposition won't even be that bad, because you already know what to expect, and you enjoy it. So you're like, all right, I already know what energy this person, place, or thing is playing in my life right now, because I already know. So boom, you end up getting to the end of the rainbow, and receive the prosperity and the gold, and get all the things at the end of and see the end of the tunnel, see the light at the end, or the darkness or the lightness at the end of the tunnel. You actually get to your destination a lot faster than if you would have took the offspring portals, the offspring routes, the shortcuts and shit. You get to the end goal with a way better story to tell also, because all the bodies that you have formed and took going in there, those stories of how you created those bodies gonna be way better than a shortcut nigga story. AKA all the things that you went through to get to the promised land, and you not letting nothing affect you, no shape or form block you as playing a roadblock. You see what I'm saying? So that you gotta get into this realm. This is the motherfucking spirit realm I'm talking about. Now, when we talk about energy portals itself, everything is a motherfucking portal. When you wake up and be like, all right, I'm gonna do this today, that's a portal. That's why you gotta be careful what you're saying, because your spirit is not paying attention to the physical shapes and forms of the things. Your spirit see things as in spirals. So your spirit is the one that know how to talk to God, not these physical gods, the energy, frequency, vibration, and where all those got it from. We all got a common ancestor, so I don't give a fuck if you don't want to believe in gods because of what God was representing. Believe me, whoever God that you hate and be like, fuck that person, believe me, when they see something higher than it, whatever name they got for it, I don't give a fuck. I just want to call it God. I want to call it whatever, but they calling something higher than it, whatever higher than it is. So I like to just go straight to the source. I like to say, let's skip all the middle shit and who created what. The energy, frequency, vibration that you get when you hear the word God, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Make me come and kill your God. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And in the spirit realm, that's your spirit communicate with God in that way, in ways of spirals and forms of informations and things of that nature, and through those kind of bodies. The lighter the body, till you get to a bodiless body, to the point that your spirit could be somewhere that it doesn't have to take a body, doesn't have to take a concept, doesn't have to take an idea. And that's the shapeless, that's the true shapeless, formless. And in that realm, that's when you start to understand that, okay, God could come in all shapes and forms, but it's not none of these shapes and forms. These shapes and forms was created, and God can use all these in order to come in a person's life. So if you're a person that don't believe in God or nothing, believe me, God's gonna come into your life in some way, shape, or form, predicated on whatever you like to pay attention to, and whatever you give your energy to and channel. God comes in, know how to come in that shape and form, because that's the grand spirit. That's the grand. This is where you get grandparent from. Grand spirit. God is our grandparent. Y'all need to understand that shit. But in the spirit realm, quit conflating shit with the physical realm. Now, as far as going through a portal, this is why the spirit sometimes hate hoes. Like in my life, I always hated hoes. Now, I'm not talking about females. Even though females carry certain frequency vibrations based upon their travels, when they come here based upon relative their spirit and their vibration to becoming an individual and then taking shapes and bodies, this is the bodies that they like to take, that they can inhabit certain energies. There's no such thing as a bad or wrong energy. But for the most part, I'm talking about, like, when I had a hole in one of my clothes, I can't deal with that. I never could deal with that. If it's a small hole in my sock, it got to get thrown away or whatever. I don't like no hole in no way, shape, or form. Now, your spirit creates realms, portals. Now, they like to go in, but a lot of times it gets blinded by lights and go in other realms, go in other worlds, other realms of realities, other portals. So it has to. So that first form of friction is what the spirit never liked it. So a spirit never have direction, and then it get lost into lights, directions, and things of that nature, to the point that it has to find itself. So this is why when you're here on earth, you have to lose yourself to actually find yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to lose yourself, because when you lose yourself, you're not losing yourself. You're detaching from everything that you thought was you. So you thought all these things, this sun and all these planets and these trees and grass and your family, you thought all that was you. So you have to go through a bunch of experiences of losing yourself. Bunch of experiences of, man, fuck this shit, fuck this world, fuck this shit, and being by yourself. And then when you find yourself, you're able to come back to grips and able to put yourself within the experiences, but still be your own individual. You find your soul again. You don't be soulless into the spirit world and into the spirit world. So how the spirit connect with God is through the lighter the bodies, but you still have to take forms of bodies and shit like that. And you can go through many different worlds and control. And the bigger your spirit is, the more worlds you can control. You know what I'm saying? And more worlds you can take. That's why you have all these things on you right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, going through a portal, you have to be careful what you're saying, because you could wake up negative. You could wake up like, man, fuck this shit. And that's a portal. So if you ain't really mean that with your heart, don't say that shit, or don't have that on your mind, because you're gonna start manifesting those circumstances and situations. And the moment you get in hot water, don't run now. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Keep the same shape and form and concept and idea. Don't run now, because you're gonna switch and change portals. And those shortcuts and shit like that ain't about nothing. But your ass shouldn't even be in that vibration anyway. So if you ain't aware of what type of portals you jumping in, don't jump in them. And people be jumping into portals every day. See, you deal with people, places, and things that make you say fuck everything all the time. But the shit that you saying fuck in your circumstance, you ain't even spiritually inclined to decipher what's right or wrong to be deciphering yet. So for the most part, you saying fuck this shit, and then you start to manifest and receive a bunch of shit that you wasn't really sure about saying fuck. So now you're compromising and shit like that, aka going into different portals and trying to take shortcuts and coming up with excuses and shit. And then the shortcut end up being like the rabbit and the turtle. That's why I say in the song, man, you could be the rabbit, nigga, I work like the turtle. See what I'm saying? You could be the rabbit all you want, bitch, I work like the turtle. You know what I'm saying? And the turtle was going slow as hell, but it somehow got to the finish line a lot faster, right? Goddamn. Flight boss, bitch. Air.